Welcome to the BAE Sports Podcast. I'm Baylor, and alongside I have Ethan and Aaron. And
Welcome to the 7th episode of the BAE Sports Podcast. I'm Baylor, paired along with Aaron and Ethan. And Aaron, yes, your first intro is going to be stuck in the beginning of this
oh,
episode. Aaron hates this question, so I'm not going to ask him. Ethan, how are you doing this
I'm doing
today?
pretty
This
good.
today.
I watched some football. It was the OU spring game. They gave Baker Mayfield a statue. You know, the pictures of it on Twitter looked really bad.
He does
But
not look like Baker Mayfield.
okay, but here's the thing, right? In person it does because he wears that headband, right? In the
Right?
pictures the headband doesn't show up, but like when you see it in person, it looks like him.
Okay. Okay.
Um Gave a good speech. New head coach Brent Venables gave a good speech. Kyler Murray was there. I saw him smile. I feel like it's been months since we've seen that man have a good time. I think they're gonna give Baker hinted that they're gonna give him a statue too next year, but
yeah, they will.
hopefully it's on track to for that to happen. And then we've had some weather this today. It's been fun.
Oh, yeah.
I watched it
It's
from
been
my
so fun.
penthouse apartment of Couch Tower. And as I said that, some thunder rumbled, so it's been fun as a meteorology nerd as well.
There's nothing like driving in tornado warning weather.
Yeah, tell
Nothing
us
like
about that.
driving on the highway. It was a thrill. I would have probably missed. I would probably would have missed it and got back into Stillwater if I didn't stop to get a smoothie. But I wanted that smoothie. So that was my own fault.
What kind of smoothie was it?
It was what's it called? It's a strawberry banana smoothie with whey protein. It was called the Jetty Punch or something like that.
Wait,
From
Baylor,
Tropical Cafe. Yes,
how much
Aaron?
can you bench?
I haven't maxed in quite a minute, but my last max was 225, but that was like 5 months ago. But I
Nice
haven't maxed bench.
225
Nice.
max, bro. She let me hit
Thank
because I'm
you.
goofy.
That's yeah,
What?
yeah. I just got a buzz cut for people who are listening to this on Spotify. There's reasons for it. It looks goofy
Bad.
haircut, but hey, walking in the wind actually is like nice now. Like look at these two losers with long hair who walk in the wind and their
It does
hair's all
suck.
I feel
in
like
their
a horse.
face.
I feel like my mane
Oh
is
yeah,
blowing in the wind. I feel fantastic.
I
It's
feel
so
great.
annoying.
I feel aerodynamic. I feel like I can run faster. I
Yeah.
feel so aerodynamic.
You look like an elementary school bully.
Oh, I'm like Biff,
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
If I
Speaking,
if I get, should I get a buzz cut? Look
yes,
like a
do it,
monk.
do it, Aaron, do it. Hey, Ethan, we
Man,
we just could be the Buzzcut
I'm not.
podcast.
No. I'm not getting a buzz cut.
2/3
come
Buzzcut.
on.
Yeah.
Speaking of buzz cuts and Back to the Future, this is a segue that has nothing to do with each other. Today we have a fun episode planned. We're going to talk about Deebo Samuel requesting a trade from the 49ers. Very exciting news. And then we're going to recap the first week of the NBA playoffs. So first off with Deebo Samuel requesting a trade. Aaron, do you think this trade is going to go through? Or do you think it's just a smokescreen for him to get a huge contract?
Yeah, I think he just wants a huge contract. He posted on his Instagram story. It was like a Jimmy Garoppolo quote. He was saying he just wants money. That's basically what it is. But maybe, I don't know. He doesn't want to play the running back receiver role. So I literally have no idea. But I don't really care about this, honestly. I'm more worried about the draft.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I think it does have to do with contract wise, because I mean, like, who advocates to get less touches? Because if he gets rid of those running back touches, then that just means he gets less touches in a game. I get the reason that he wants to like maybe be seen as more of a complete receiver. I made a TikTok a while back about this, saying that Deebo Samuel was not a top 10 receiver, but he's a top 5 offensive weapon because he doesn't just play the receiver position; he also plays as a halfback. He also takes handoffs. So I get that he wants to like be seen more as a complete receiver because you see a lot of people like AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, DK. They're probably going to get huge contracts that were in the same draft class as Debo, but Debo might not get that because he's not seen as a complete receiver. If he does get shipped off, there's a couple teams that I think would be great fits. One being the Jets. The Jets tried to get AJ Brown trying to get DK Metcalf, and they really haven't succeeded. They tried to get Tyreek Hill, and they didn't get him. We know the Jets are willing to pay huge top dollar money to get a receiver. And would Deebo Samuel be worth the number 10 overall pick? I think it would. And then, 49ers could get, Garrett Wilson or a Drake London at that spot. Ethan, what do you think about this whole Deebo Samuel situation?
So it's funny you ask, right? Because I don't really care. But what I did was I looked up a list of NFL teams, put in a random number to pick a random NFL team, and I'm like, let's make a trade with them. And unfortunately, I got a trade that seems to make a lot of sense. I got the Carolina Panthers, right? And Aaron's giving me a funny look. So I look up, a trade machine so I can, sort of mess around and see what each team needs. Well, the Panthers need a quarterback. And who seems to have, an NFL-ready quarterback laying around? It's the 49ers. So I went on Fanspo, which is, the worst website of all time because it's a bunch of 12-year-olds making trades. But the first one with Deebo Samuel in it was this trade to the Panthers, where the Panthers receive Jimmy Garoppolo and Debo, and the 49ers receive Robbie Anderson, Gross Matos, and the 6th overall draft pick. And all of the 12-year-olds in the comments seem to like it, so I'm like, let's roll with it. And I feel like it's something interesting to think about.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's not bad, honestly, because,
Yeah.
the Panthers, they do need a quarterback, and it's could use another weapon, because, who's their second receiver?
Mm-hmm.
Robbie Anderson? Who's their third?
He's so trash.
He's not that great. So you already paying DJ Moore a crap ton of money, which would be a problem. And Debo's going to want a lot of money too. I don't know if the Panthers completely have the cap for both of them. If you can bring Jimmy on a team friendly deal, you got to get rid of Sam Darnold though. His contract is just going to probably make that impossible. But it's not a terrible. It's not a terrible trade. We keep bringing up Sam Darnold in every episode.
Sam Darnold
It's
podcast.
not a terrible trade. If he went to the Panthers and the 49ers were able to get that 6th overall pick, then yeah, they have first dibs at any receiver that they want in this draft. And getting Robbie Anderson, so you could have Garrett Wilson, Brandon Ayuk, Robbie Anderson, and George Kittle as your weapons for Trae Young's first complete season. I wouldn't be totally against that. I think that's a pretty W trade. Another team that I'm seeing a lot of hype for to get Debo is the Kansas City Chiefs. And I don't know completely how I think that the Chiefs would handle this situation, because they could trade both their first round picks, because they have pick 28 and 29, right?
You want
And
me
I'm
to
trying
look?
to get confident.
I have no idea.
I think it's 28 and 29.
Yeah, 29-30.
Okay, 29-30. So I'm thinking that they could trade both 29 and 30 to get Debo. And I think that's worth it. It's 2 late first-round picks. It'd be worth it for the 49ers, especially if they're trying to get rid of him. And the Chiefs don't have the cap that they're spending with Tyreek Hill, so they could spend it on Debo. Problem is, they already signed 2 free agent wide receivers in Juju and Marquez Valdez-Scantling to contracts. So do you want to get another guy in? So now you're paying even more money with receiver? But I guess because you have Patrick Mahomes, who can make anyone look good. If they did get Deebo Samuel, and that receiving core was Deebo Samuel, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling, that would put the Chiefs in basically the exact same position they were last year, maybe even better, because their receiving core is now better than it was last year, because you just added Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Juju, and Tyreek is definitely a better receiver than Debo, but I wouldn't say super far off. So now you have even a better receiving core, and with this AFC West, I can totally see it.
I don't know what's wrong with Debo though. He's this year was his star year, and he's only good because he's a hybrid role. So it's if you already state that you don't want to be a hybrid role, is anyone really gonna pay you?
I don't know, because if it wasn't for Cooper Kupp's record-breaking season, the greatest receiver season of all time, Debo probably would have won Offensive Player of the Year. So he has the potential at a hybrid role. So I'm wondering if he's if it's more a not to say anything bad about Debo's ego, but it is an ego thing. that he doesn't want to be like this offensive tandem weapon. He wants to be seen as a complete receiver and prove that he's one of the top receivers in the NFL because he's already proved he's a top offensive weapon, being able to do both sides of the ball. But does he want like more? Is this not from a game standpoint, from like an individual standpoint, that he just wants to be recognized for his actual ability as a receiver? And I think that could be a reason. But I mean, like, wouldn't the 49ers, they could pay him. I feel like they have enough to pay him the money. And there's Debo's their best offensive weapon. They're going to want to keep him on the team.
Yeah, it's like a Lamar Jackson thing. He just wants to be known as a quarterback, but we call him Lamar B. But I think I saw the 49ers already offered him. Like Debo just said he wanted to get out of there.
Like, they have Brandon Ayuk, who's still a young, talented receiver. They have George Kittle.
Yeah.
Could get a pick in this draft and get a receiver. I mean, this receiver class is pretty good. So, I mean, even if you get a late round pick, like the Chiefs picks, if you get both the Chiefs picks, you could get maybe even Traylon Burks Falls or Chris Olave. You're not going to have to pay the money. You're going to have two pretty good receivers that you're paying on rookie contracts and a quarterback on a rookie deal. This might be a way for the 49ers to be like, in the next 3 years, we can win the Super Bowl because we have the roster. We've proven it. We just went to the NFC Championship, and now can get rid of Garoppolo, and we'll have a quarterback on a rookie contract who has a lot of potential and a lot of hype around him with Trey Lance. You have Brandon Ayuk on a rookie contract. You have this running back system that none of them are paid high because Al Shanahan just knows how to work that running back system. And then you get, say, Olave as your second option, and you have George Kittle still. So now you can use the other money around you to like build up the defense to make it like one of the best in the league. You already have a good offensive line. Like, if the 49ers are thinking that they want to win now, I mean, look at a lot of the teams that went to the Super Bowl. They've had quarterbacks on rookie contracts, like the Bengals, quarterback on a rookie contract. The Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. I'm trying to think of the Rams with Jared Goff. Like, they've been to the Super Bowl because they were able to like make elite defenses, elite offenses around the quarterback on a rookie contract. And if you're paying a receiver $30 million, like Debo might ask for, he's going to get paid $25 to $30 million. Then you're not going to have enough money to pay that defensive end that you need to get that'll get the key sacks in the game in which you win it. So I think this might be. Obviously, the 49ers probably don't want this. Like, they didn't want this from the start. They wanted to keep Debo. But now that Debo's asking for a trade, and he's a very sought-after receiver right now, you could see them take advantage of this, get a high pick, get a really good receiver, and help build around this team more around Trey Lance so they can be really good in the next 2 to 3 years.
What if he doesn't want to play with Trey Lance? I mean, it's his first year starting, and it's like he's gonna depend on the stars, like George Kittle. So it's like, what if Debo? He probably feels like he has to carry, and he's gonna get injured, so he wants to get paid now, before all that happens, to get guaranteed money.
I feel like that could also, because I mean, if he's taking like 5-6 RB snaps a game, let's just say, what's the likelihood that one of those he gets hit too hard? With receivers, you don't see them get hurt as much on contact as running backs get hurt the way more than any other position. So that could also be a thing that he just wants to get his guaranteed money to make sure that he gets guaranteed money in his contract, so he can go out and just play however he wants to play, and make sure that like playing the RB position's okay because he has his guaranteed money, and if he gets hurt, he's still going to get paid. And that begs the question, if the 49ers, like in contract negotiations, aren't giving him guaranteed money, and he's looking for a place that is going to give him that guaranteed money.
Yeah, I agree.
All we have to say on the Debo situation?
Yeah.
Debo to Panthers. Book it.
I'm gonna make a prediction. So Ethan's is Debo to Panthers. I'm gonna go Debo to the Jets. Aaron, you want to make a prediction?
Debo to the 49ers.
That's fair.
You think he's gonna stay?
Yeah, they're not gonna move him anywhere.
I mean, honestly, deep down, I agree with that. But Debo to Panthers. Let's do it, right?
Go to the Jets. Now, after that, we've had a week of the NBA playoffs. We've had some of our predictions do well. We've had some do bad. Hey, the Nuggets. We'll get to that whole mess. So I think what we're gonna do is just recap every series, starting with the West, going down like we did with our predictions, and going with the East, and then just do like an overall review how it's of how it's been. Is this the
Yeah, I have a little bracket pulled up here.
okay?
Nice.
Nice. All right, so first off, we got the Phoenix Suns and the New Orleans Pelicans. I mean, we knew the Suns were going to be great in this series. The Pelicans getting one was not something I thought. I definitely thought this was going to be Suns in 4, for sure.
Well, Booker's out, that's why.
Yeah.
I heard it's probably going to be weeks, but I don't think that's going to be like still like this team is still like incredibly good even without Booker. I mean, the Pelicans don't really have anybody. They got Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum, who are great shot creators, but they don't really got anybody to help on defense. They don't got anybody to really stop DeAndre Ayton too. As much as I love Steven Adams, he just is not. He's not the guy he used to be. I think this is going to be in 5 or 6. I expect Booker to be out for the rest of this series and possibly like game 1 and 2 of the next series. I think when you have Chris Paul, who's like the most clutch player in the NBA right now, I'm not entirely worried about like this team not living up to their expectations. I think they're gonna win in 6 or 5 still.
Yeah, dude, I saw a stat. Chris Paul shooting 70% in the fourth quarter of this series.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. He's such a clutch player, and he's done it time in and time out. I think this is some of his best basketball we've seen in the last few years, and he's really showing it in the playoffs.
You guys want to know a cool stat?
Yeah.
Yes.
The only game the Suns lost in this series, it was ref by Scott Foster and Chris
Gotcha.
Paul.
Mhm.
0 for 14 in each game that Scott Foster refs Chris Paul in. He's lost 14 straight playoff games.
15 straight playoff games with the same ref. My water's
Yes.
over here.
Yeah, okay, Suns are gonna win every game of this series. Scott Foster doesn't ref.
Yep, I agree.
All right.
I think, and also you look at this past game that they played against the Suns. Like, without Devin Booker, Ayton and Chris Paul both dropped 28. Mikal Bridges stepped up. Mikal Bridges played 40 minutes and dropped 17. You got JaVale McGee off the bench scoring 15. So, like, this team isn't, like, just complete garbage without Devin Booker. And the Pelicans, I don't know how much they deserve to be in the playoffs. I mean, they took a game from the Suns, but I don't know how much they, like, deserve to be here. But I definitely think the Suns are definitely winning this series
Who
for
do you
sure.
think deserves to be in the playoffs over the Pelicans?
Who'd they play in the play-in?
They beat the Spurs.
I think I would have taken like looking through the whole season. I probably would have taken the Spurs. But I mean,
Why?
I don't know. That's a good
Deshaun
point.
You would
Murray.
rather
That's a
have
good
the
point.
Spurs, who literally proved that they're worse than the Pelicans in a head-to-head matchup?
I guess I'd rather. Okay, let's just say I'd rather have Zion Williamson. I'd
He's
rather
out.
have Zion in this
He
matchup.
can't play.
I would like him to be in here. I like Brandon Ingram a lot. It's like I don't want to see the Suns play the Pelicans, I guess. I would have preferred if the Pelicans like played like Jazz, but that's not how the playoffs work. You have the best team play against the worst team
I mean,
in the first round,
Well,
and
if
this
you got an
series isn't as
80% chance
entertaining.
you get to see that next round, so at least you get to smile about that.
Yeah, but I don't want to see
Did I
that.
say
want
80%?
the Suns are my
Sorry,
front.
my math is
You
wrong.
said 80.
40%, that's what I meant.
50%.
Well, let's say that there's
Well, I mean, it's not really like 50%.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the Suns to make it all the way to the final. So
And I agree with that, but yeah, we were talking about Utah. They're playing the Mavs, and the series is tied 2-2.
Luka's back, and they lost the game he's back.
okay. My thought was with this game coming in. I mean, the Mavs were already up 2-1 without having Luka, and if the Jazz can't beat really can't beat the Mavs consistently without Luka, what's saying they can with Luka? And they proved that they could. I mean, it was Luka's first game back, but you couldn't even say that he was like rusty because he dropped 30 points.
Yeah, that's true. And he didn't play that much either, but Jalen Brunson is insane. Like, I didn't think he was that good. He, like, carried them for what, the past 3 games?
Where was Brunson before the Mavs?
Villanova?
Did he get drafted?
Or,
Has he always been with the Mavs?
I don't know, honestly.
I feel. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking. Jalen Brunson. I'll look it up real quick.
I mean, on the Jazz side, though, you had Jordan Clarkson step up and drop 25.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
always been on the Mavs.
the Jazz aren't awful.
Well, the problem,
I still expect the Mavs to win this when they get. Maybe it was the fact that they haven't played with Luka in a while, so it was they had to get adjusted to bringing him back in the lineup. But I think next game we'll see that the full team is like ready to compete with Luka.
yeah, because the Jazz only beat them by 1 today. Like, there's nothing, like, special or crazy about that. They're still not good. Ironically, the game-winning shot was from Donovan Mitchell to Rudy Gobert.
That's funny. Because
I
what was the
know.
stat we were looking at? Like they average pass to each other like two
Two
times a
times a
Dude,
game.
yeah,
It's still
it's terrible.
insane.
I mean, what's interesting is like I feel like all of these games sort of have a clear winner. But at the time, like the preview, we were like we're kind of split on this. Both these teams seem to be like, exactly as good as each other, and it's the only
Yeah.
team or only series where it's tied. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely still leaning towards the Mavs.
For sure. I still think they're gonna figure it out. It's tied.
Hmm.
It's the next 2 games. I still feel like the Mavs are gonna figure out how to reincorporate Luka into that lineup and they're gonna start getting games off the Jazz again.
Do we all pick Mavs in our bracket thing?
I picked
I should
Mavs.
have picked the Mavs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I
Ethan
think,
picked
yeah.
Jazz.
Okay. You think I picked the Jazz?
Didn't you? Didn't one of us pick the Jazz?
Maybe
I
I
I'm.
think,
If I did, it was against what I wanted, and I was saying it because the world hates me, which sometimes happens. So maybe, but I don't want the Jazz to win.
fair.
But you know what I wasn't expecting? I wasn't expecting Golden State to take a 3-0 lead over the Nuggets.
I did. I did.
You
should
did?
have
By the
expected
way.
it.
Yeah, I did. I think I said it in the podcast last week.
Really?
Yeah, I think Aaron was really dogging me for picking the Nuggets, which that was a major L on my part.
Mm-hmm.
I picked the Nuggets because I trusted in Jokic, and I didn't really completely trust this Warriors team. I knew they were good, but I wanted to pick the upset. I felt like Jokic was going to do something. But hey, you even look at this last game. Jokic dropped 37 points, and they still lost. Jordan Poole has been playing like an all-star this entire series. Curry's playing amazing. You got Clay playing great. You still have Draymond. You could make a case for the Warriors being the team that's going to go to the Western Conference Finals, especially with Devin Booker going out. If he's out for an extended period of time, say the Pelicans drop the Suns. I don't see any other team in the West right now that could compete with the Warriors. And I was completely wrong with what I said last week when I was like, I feel like the Warriors just don't got it. I was completely wrong. They 100% got it. And this is like, I think the Suns are like extremely good. Like, don't get me wrong. I think they're still probably the best team in the West. But the Warriors are the scariest team in the West because they've got shooters all around. They got players who can play great defense like Clay and Draymond. So, like, and they've been there before. This team has been there before. They know how to win.
Yeah. I definitely think I hope I picked the Warriors. I can't really remember. I'm such a great pundit. I can't remember what I said last week, but I just, in 3 games, I'd figure at least Denver would take 1 because they got a MVP caliber player in, his prime if he's receiving all these MVP votes. But I remember saying that, I've seen Jokic play probably twice this year, and both times he underwhelmed me. I'm like, I don't know, if you can't do anything against the Oklahoma City Thunder
Yeah.
big men. I don't know, but could just be I'm watching the wrong games. But I guess the Warriors are back, which stinks.
What?
I
Why not?
Because they
Because they
broke my
win all the
heart and they
time.
took Kevin Durant.
Dude, Curry is so fun to watch.
I
He is extremely fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just like the Warriors, like they were always there. It's like the reason people hate Tom Brady because he wins all the time. So it's
well,
just like people are sick and tired of seeing the same team over and over and over and over again.
okay, here. Let me say this. I'm glad I would rather watch the Warriors go to the finals than the Lakers, assuming the Lakers were good this year. But I would rather see the Suns go to the finals than the Warriors. Does this make sense?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd rather see the Warriors go to the finals than the Lakers again.
And I mean, let's say these results hold out. I would be rooting for Memphis above the Warriors. But I think I like all of the players individually on the Warriors. I just don't like the Warriors. Does this make sense?
I don't have a problem with Clay, Steph, Jordan Poole. I don't like Draymond honestly that much, but it's fine. Like I don't hate him. I just don't particularly like him that much.
Yeah.
It's just the Warriors because they're the Warriors because a couple years back they always win it. They always get there. So it's just kind of sick and tired of seeing them be good, and they were kind of not that great for a little bit, and now they're back up to being one of the best teams in the league.
I'm okay with it because they drafted all those guys.
True.
So it's like, it's okay to see them because they didn't build a super team like LeBron James,
Hmm.
the GM.
But GM,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, before we move on, I do agree with Baylor on the dislike of Draymond Green. I don't hate him. I probably did, back when the Thunder were good because of the Steven Adams incident. But what's done is done. I don't know. I can't hold hate that
True.
long. Maybe I'll be saying the same thing about Rudy Gobert in 3 years. Who knows? But
If you guys watch his podcast, you'll learn to like him. He's actually really smart and not like a
yeah,
ass.
that's why I've cooled off on him. I feel like there are big men I like more,
did not know he had a
like
podcast.
Joel Embiid.
It's really good.
But
Troll Embiid.
I think that's all I have to say about the series for now.
Aaron, you didn't really touch on the series much. What do you have to say about it?
What'd you say?
What do you have to say about this series? What do you think's going to happen with the Warriors and Nuggets?
Oh, it's a sweep.
Do you think they're gonna win? When do they play next?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. When tomorrow? In the
Debo.
afternoon.
Yeah.
The afternoon.
Jokic can't do it himself. He's literally carrying them. It's not gonna work.
Yeah,
That's all my thoughts.
that's
They're
fair.
just
I
overpowered.
should have. I just wanted Jokic to take it. I shouldn't have been going off bias. I should have been like, yeah, the Warriors are just the Warriors are the Warriors. They got Steph Curry.
Mhm.
That was my bad. That was a horrendous take on my part, and I am suffering because of it. Now with Memphis and the Timberwolves, after that first game, it looked kind of scary. It did look kind of scary. The Timberwolves were kind of taking it, but now we have Memphis, a 2-game winning streak. Aaron, Memphis was your finals pick. What do you think about this series so far?
I haven't watched any of it. I only picked them because they just seem like the most energetic team. I don't know. And they're probably, I don't know what to say about them, honestly. I've literally never watched a Memphis game in my life. Ethan, what do you think?
So, what's funny about what we're doing right now is these two teams are playing against each other. So, kind of no matter what we say, it's going to be outdated by the time this goes out.
For
But
sure.
I have seen Memphis play. I saw them beat my beloved Thunder by 73 points. I watched. I think I won't say I watched the whole game, but I watched 3/4 of it, and I think I shut it off because I'm like, this. Why am I doing this to myself? It was like self-harm. I was like, I can't be doing this. I've seen them play in person. I'm trying to think of what stuck out when I saw them in person, other than the fact that they're really good. They're really good, I guess.
They're
They're good
playing
with
right.
Jaw. They're
Yeah.
great with Jaw, and they're fantastic without him. So,
They're losing right now by it's 26-31 right now at the end of the first quarter.
I don't even think it
And
matters. The
yeah,
Timberwolves blew two 26-point leads in the same game. Like, who cares? I'm gonna just watch the final 2 minutes, or just watch as soon as we're done recording.
yeah, once we get this done, we'll finish this game. That's why I want to get this episode recorded. I mean, edited. I want to get this edited and posted tonight because we got playoffs in the morning. When's our earliest game? Not the morning, but earliest game is
Around
at
noon
noon. I want to get
Central Time.
this episode out tonight so it's not super outdated
Mhm.
because they got games going every. That's what's crazy. Like it's just like it's like you can't really keep up with the playoffs because it's like you have games every single. You have like 4 games every single day. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
But on the plus side, at least it means that there's something every day.
Exactly.
If someone didn't have anything going on because they need to touch grass, then it's like cool. You got the playoffs going on where you can watch 3 games a night. But
Mhm.
I've been touching too much grass.
Touching too much grass. Now, that's all we have for the West.
Yeah, Memphis is winning the series.
Memphis
Don't like
is
Pat
winning the
Bev.
series. Yeah, I think Memphis is still winning the series. Aaron.
Yeah, Memphis in
yeah.
5.
Ooh,
So
I'm
now
gonna
we
say
got.
Memphis in 6.
I'm gonna say Memphis
Really?
in 6. I think the Timberwolves will get another game.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got the
Maybe.
East.
All right, East.
We've got Miami and Atlanta. And honestly, Atlanta's doing better than I thought they would. I mean,
Trae
there's
Young's
been
gonna
some.
pop
Jimmy
off.
Butler.
We all said
You know,
3 different
like-
things at the same time.
I mean, the Hawks, they only won the game by 1 point. And Trae Young didn't play, like, insane.
Mhm.
I think he had 24 points.
In the win.
He had 24 points in a win, in a
Okay.
1 point win. This Heat team is very good, very scary. They got good defenders, good shot creators. I think they're still taking this game in 5. I don't like the Hawks have played better than I thought they would, but I don't like. I still think they're gonna lose out. I really expect this Heat team to really give the 76ers, who I expect to win against the Raptors, a run for their money. I think that's going to be a great series.
Man,
Yeah.
Trae Young's so good. And I hate Jimmy Butler. Go Hawks.
I still don't get why you hate Jimmy Butler.
I just don't like him. He can't shoot. It's so boring to watch him play.
He dropped 45 in game 2.
Really.
Yeah, and Trey dropped 25. It's just like you got so many players on that. I think the problem with the Hawks is that if Trae Young doesn't just have like an absolute masterclass, they're probably going to win because they don't really have a lot of high-level scores.
Mm-hmm.
You go on the Heat, and then like you have Jimmy Butler who drops 45. You have Bam Adebayo who can be amazing in the paint. You have Tyler Hero coming off the bench. You have Kyle Lowry. You have Duncan Robinson. Like you just have so many shot creators, so many playmakers that it's like it's going to be really tough where you don't know who to really guard when you're Atlanta. But when you're Miami, you know, just shut down Trae Young and you can basically win the game. And I'm pretty sure they're also Hawks are missing Clint Capella too. They're missing Clint Capella and Lou Williams. So I mean, like they're down people, and Miami's not really. Miami lost. They lose. Let me check. I think. Kyle Lowry's day to day with a leg injury, but even that, you still have like four great playmakers on the Heat. So I don't really expect the Hawks to do much more.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna stick with the Hawks winning the series, Aaron?
No, I think I chose the Heat, but I would rather have the Hawks win.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hope Trae Young has another masterclass, but it's probably going to be Heat in 6.
Heat in 6.
Yeah.
Yo, you think? Wait, never mind. I was like, oh, you think the Hawks are gonna win another game? I just realized it was 2-1. I just looked at it. So now we got Philly and Toronto. The only thing, like, the 76ers have been dominating the series. They've just been absolutely dominating this series. And you see that the one game that that the Raptors do get off is the game that Joel Embiid goes down with a thumb injury.
Yeah, torn ligament.
It's day to day, right? Like it's not like
He played, but he's not completely healthy, you could say.
I mean they still got Harden, they still got Tyrese Maxey. Toronto's got some playmakers, but like I'm gonna take like I still think the 76ers are going far. They're my Eastern Conference final team, and I still expect them to make it. But losing someone like Joel Embiid, who's so good on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, it really sucks. But he's a big guy. He can come back from it.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, I mean, that buzzer beater was awesome.
Oh, it wasn't that so sweet.
Yeah.
It's like it was revenge for the Kawhi buzzer beater.
Hmm. Same building too, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mhm.
Or
I think so.
were both of them away games? Maybe
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
They were in Toronto. They were all in Toronto.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's not going to be that crazy of an opinion if I say that Philly wins in 5 or 6 games, right?
No,
So,
I think it's gonna be it's gonna be 5 or 6.
Yeah, they're winning the next one. Bet my life on the next game. I mean, there's no way, like, Toronto's not good. Isn't Scotty Barnes out? Is he playing?
I don't know.
Scotty Barnes.
Let me check. I've got the
They don't.
injury tracker. He's not, but Fred VanVleet's day to day.
Mm.
Mm.
Surely
Dude.
they play him now. If he's
Rookie
day to
of the year,
day.
Scotty Barnes. Yeah, I mean, Raptors got a lot of playmakers too, but I mean, like the Sixers, like you just look at that team. That team is so dominant, and they already got the lead. If say Joel Embiid doesn't play the next 2 games, you're still up 3-1, and you still got great playmakers like Tyrese Maxey, who hot take. In like a 5-year span, in like the next 5 years, like anywhere within that 5 years, Tyrese Maxey is going to be a top 5 guard in the league. Like he's so talented, and I can't wait to see his future. I'm
Top
very excited
5
to see him
guard all around.
in the league. Yes, in like
I'm
a
gonna say
5
cold take.
in 5 years, because I mean like by that time Steph will be out. Kyrie's probably not going to be as good, so it's going to be like him, Trae Young, Luka,
Morant.
Morant, like right around there, like 4 or 5.
Shea.
Where's Shea?
Yeah, Shea.
What
Maybe
about
Shea
Cade Cunningham?
above. I would
Cade
I'd
Cunningham's-
put Maxey over Cade, coming from someone who
In
Yeah.
5
goes
years?
OSU. Well, no, like not in like here in 5 years, like in this 5-year
In
span,
between.
like in
Yeah.
the next year, the next year, the next year, in one of these years,
Where's
he's
Devin
going to be a
Booker?
top 5 guard.
He's a shooting guard.
I just said guard in general.
If you say guard,
Oh, in general.
That's why I was saying.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about point.
Well, I mean, like that's any
Oh,
year. It's any year.
no.
Devin Booker can have a down year, or say Devin Booker's 4, then Tyrese Maxey's 5. I think he'll be better than Shea. I love Shea so much. I think Tyree's going to be better than Shea.
nah.
At a time,
I
at a
can't
time.
accept that.
That's fine. You don't have to accept. I understand.
Not yet.
I know not yet. I'm saying in a 5-year span, there's going to be a few years in that span where Tyrese Maxey is a top 5 guard in the league. It's just
Point
a
guard,
take.
maybe.
It's just a take, man. It's just a take.
2 years
Bad
ago, would
take,
you have said
very
the same
bad
thing
take.
about Tyler Hero?
No.
Maybe because Baylor loves white point guards and shooting guards. He loves Jack Harlow too. You can tell.
I don't like Jack Harlow.
You don't.
I would have no, not really. I don't
Why?
like. I can't name one Jack Harlow song.
Industry Baby, where he mentions
Tyler
my
Hero.
alma mater.
Tyler Hero is literally the name of the
Oh,
song.
he does have a song named Tyler Hero. Speaking of Tyler
Alright, let's-
Hero, this has nothing to do with the next one, but we're segueing. Milwaukee and Chicago. And this was one that I was kind of like, the first couple games, it was just like, man, Chicago's just, what is this?
Mhm.
But then Chris Middleton is now out with an MCL sprain. MCL sprain of
Yeah.
MCL sprain. Am I right on that?
Chris Middleton.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, my finals
Yeah.
prediction's gonna be wrong
Yeah.
now.
But there's a huge but with this.
Like your
Bulls
mama.
did win the first game. What? I'm looking at the wrong one. What the I'm looking at?
No, they won the second game because DeMar dropped 40 something, and then after
Oh
that,
yeah, I'm looking
I
at
think
yeah.
last game
Chris
DeMar dropped
Middleton
11 points.
Chris Middleton's out in game 3. Chris Middleton's out. And the Bucks still win by 30. And Giannis only dropped 18.
That's unsustainable.
Their bench players are stepping up though with Chris Middleton out.
I
And,
don't know.
like,
I don't think that's gonna last though. There's no way they make it to the finals.
Don't worry.
There's no way they beat the Celtics, Bulls,
oh yeah, no,
and the
yeah.
Heat.
I think they'll still take the Bulls because the Bull like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
DeMar
said it in the wrong order.
DeRozan.
They'll
DeMar
probably beat the
DeRozan.
Bulls in
Dude,
7.
DeMar's so bad.
He's such a regular season player.
Who is?
Like he was so DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
He's on and off.
Like you can't like trust him to like be the number one option on the team when it's needed, which is right now. It's super needed right now, especially when you don't have like Lonzo in, and you got I guess Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso, but he needs to step up and be that number one guy. I mean, you're playing the Greek Freak. You need to step up and show that you can be like that. You deserve to be an MVP candidate, but you didn't really do that. But on the side of the Bucks, I do still expect them to take the series even without Chris Middleton. They have the best player in the world. They have the best basketball player in the world with Giannis. Is that a hot take? Or do
No.
you both agree on that?
Remember when DeMar DeRozan was receiving MVP noise early in the season? He hit like 3 back-to-back like buzzer beaters, something stupid like that. Maybe it was 2,
Yeah.
but he had those 40-point games and feels like a long time ago. But yeah, I think it'll be the Bucks in like 7.
But would you agree? Would
now
you
we
agree
know-
that Giannis is the best player in the world?
I
Or do you
would.
think it's someone else?
Yeah.
No.
Who's it? KD? Is it KD, Aaron?
No, not
KD?
KD.
Who's the best player in the world?
Yeah, you
Then?
gotta give it.
think
Grosses
it's-
me out to say this, but Embiid.
You think it's Troel?
Fair.
Embiid.
Joel.
Troel, yeah.
Joel Embozo.
He can do it all.
Joel Embozo.
He's a big man. Giannis is a small forward. Of course, he's athletic.
Giannis
But he
is
can't
like
shoot.
7 foot
Joel
tall.
can do everything.
I still
Yeah,
think
but he's built like a small forward. Like Joel's like not fat, but like he's like a
a
Draymond
big
Green
guy?
type of like size.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I still think Giannis is the best player in the world.
Mhm.
I still think they're gonna get through this Bulls, but I think they're gonna lose to the Celtics. I don't think without Chris Middleton you can take this team to the finals though.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I picked the Bucks to go to the finals, not thinking Chris Middleton would get injured 2 games in, but
That's
I
what
mean,
happens.
it's definitely
I mean, you look,
cheating
yeah,
to change my pick, but
you can change it. Like you can your pick was the
Mhm.
Bucks, but you can say like who you think's gonna make it now. Because I mean, like injury is like no one can predict it. Like
Mhm.
would the Warriors have beaten the Raptors if KD didn't go down?
yeah.
Like injuries always plague a team. Like you look at every team that wins the finals or goes to the finals, like Suns and
Mhm.
Bucks last year. They weren't injured. They got really lucky with injuries.
Mhm.
So it's just like you have to like hope that the best teams don't get injured,
Mhm.
which the Bucks and the Suns just did. So that's kind of scary for both teams.
Mhm.
Now,
Well,
who would you think is going to go from the East now?
well, they are playing the Nets right now, and it's our next
Hell
pod.
yeah, let's go.
Our lovely Aaron had a really good prediction. He thought the Nets would go how far?
To the finals.
And win it. And win the finals.
And win the finals. And how many games have they won through 3 playoff games?
Donut.
It's actually a trick
Big
question.
fat donut.
They've won one. They won the play-in, but against Boston, they're down 3-0. No Ben Simmons yet. Kyrie Irving. He just
Kyrie kind of balling though. He's kind
Kyrie
of
needs to take
balling.
better shots. You know, he needs to inject some life into his team.
You would think Kyrie Irving, a dude who's been to
Oh, he
multiple
did. Oh,
finals,
he did
and
not
Devin
do well in game two. Never mind. He did not do well in game two.
and KD, two-time Finals MVP, would be dominating a young Boston Celtics. It just doesn't make sense. KD, he's shooting 20-something% when Jason Tatum's guarding him. He's
That's
getting
the
locked
guy.
up.
That's the guy. I got my Jason Tatum jersey on.
Bandwagon.
Best player in the league. I bought this a year and a half ago, Ethan. I
Okay.
bought this a year and a half ago. Jason
Baylor
Tatum.
hops on trends.
I know.
Jason Tatum's just different. He's been my favorite player for the last 2 years. Both of you, he's been my favorite player
Why
for
do
the
you have
last 2
such
years.
weird favorite
Proof.
players? That's
I don't
my
know.
question.
I don't know. You want to
It's so
see what other?
peculiar.
You want to see what other just random jersey I have?
No.
Kirk
Save it
Cousins.
for the
I
Patreon.
bet Kirk Cousins.
What?
Save
say,
the
Ethan?
jersey reveal for the Patreon.
Okay.
Yeah. Rude
Speaking
boy.
of Jason Tatum and the Celtics, I think what the problem is, because both these teams are extremely talented. You look at the Nets, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. You look at the Celtics, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. What separates those two teams, I think, is chemistry. You look at this Celtics team, and they play so fluidly together. They play so well together. They've been with each other for a while. But then you look at the Nets, and they're kind of sloppy. This like big three that we haven't even seen yet, just they don't play together. They don't play together. So like when they get on the court together, they're both just like KD and Kyrie. They work well with the ball in their hands. So it's like you got too many people who need the ball in their hands. When you got Boston, where you got Jason Tatum, you got Jaylen Brown, two great shot creators, but also two good defenders. Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. So you have guys who can impact the game heavily while not touching the ball at all. So I think that's why the Celtics are absolutely dominating this series, is because they've got the shot creators, but they also have probably the best defense in the league as well. That's why I picked them to go and win the finals, because Jason Tatum, when you need him locked in, he's locked in. And the rest of the team, you can just trust them to play amazing defense and let Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown cook. I mean, they don't even have Robert Williams in, who's one of their best defensive players. He's still out. He might not come back in this series, but I'm expecting a sweep. I'm calling Celtics are going to finish in 4.
Yeah,
Sad to see.
I don't think it's that sad to see. I don't think anyone's at home crying that KD and Kyrie aren't
Well,
making
like,
it.
you would love to see a good series. This seemed like it was going to be a really fun series. Isn't that just so boring?
Oh, Robert Williams is back. Never mind. Forget that I said that. He was back. He played 16 minutes in this game.
I mean, I have 3 things to say about this series and just these teams in general. The first one, and this is the one that just popped into my head, you know, the people of Brooklyn must be so sad right now because their favorite team, the Knicks, did not make it to the playoffs. 2,
Facts.
the Celtics are my new team to come out of the East.
Yeah, let's go.
I like
let's
what
go,
you said
Ethan.
about the Celtics last week, and now that my team that I picked before is like down their second best player, I'm like, I think the Celtics are the most realistic pick now. And third, when I saw the Celtics play, this is a story I regret, but Daniel Tice, I saw him play twice because he started with the Rockets and he was
You know, Ty's
awful.
playing twice.
He was so terrible, and I'm like, wow, this is like the worst player on the Rockets this year. But he got traded to the Celtics, which I guess I probably read it somewhere, but now I see him on the Celtics. Shocker, this guy still sucks. Oh my god, he was so terrible. And I was sitting behind the backboard that the Celtics were shooting their free throws on in the second half. It's the Thunder this year. No one cares, like, when free throws happen. So what I do is I stand up and I yell the player's first name and I go, like, Jason, miss the shot. And I first did it at OU games and it worked. Like, I got 3 people to miss free throws. The most positive story was Jackson Hayes was shooting and he's from Texas, so I gave him a horns down. And then he made both of his free throws and gave me a horns up. I'm like, okay, I deserve that. But through a quarter and a half of this, Celtics did not miss a single free throw. And everyone sitting around me is like, you'll get him next time, buddy. And I'm like, okay. But this is also the side that the Celtics bench was on. Daniel Tice fouls out, and he's mad. So I look at him, and he's walking to the bench, and he's standing up, and he's pissed. I look at him and go, hey, Daniel, shave your beard. Shave your beard. You suck. I don't think I said you suck, but I said, shave your beard. Sit down. Shave your beard. And he looks at me, and he's like, and I go, yeah, sit down. And then he sat down, and I'm like, I just cyberbullied an NBA player in real life. I feel kind of bad about it now. I'm like, that guy has worked a lot harder than I have in life. But also, Daniel Tice was like playing real bad compared to his peers, and also he looks weird, and also ratio. That's my Daniel Tice story.
How does that relate to the series?
He plays for the Celtics, and the Celtics are going to win the next game and also go to the finals. And
Let's
he
go.
will prove me wrong, and he will probably not shave his beard.
Aaron, do you want to he dropped?
Nets in 7.
You're still gonna take the Nets? You're still gonna take the Nets?
Nets in 7. Come on.
Dude,
boy-
we've been talking
your boy
so
Daniel
much crap
dropped
on
9.
Aaron. I feel like it's gonna happen. Like, if it does happen, Aaron gets to like take it to the bank.
We've talked a lot of crap about Aaron. We've not. I'm glad we talked all this crap about Aaron's pick. My pick of the Nuggets beating the Warriors is way worse. I don't know why y'all aren't flaming me.
Because you don't have the Nuggets winning the whole thing.
That is true. I do have them losing in the next round to the Grizzlies in 6. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
But dude, I would not be surprised. I'm still going to stick with my finals pick of Suns and Celtics, but I would not be surprised if it's Warriors Celtics. But I'm still going to stick with the Celtics winning it all until they can't win it all. And are you going to
Nets versus Grizzlies.
then you switching yours up a little bit?
Yeah, if I'm allowed to. Like, I'm taking the L on the Bucks.
Yeah.
If I had to look at someone right now and say, who do I have now? It would be the Suns and the Celtics.
I was saying me and you with the same.
Yeah.
Are you going to take the Suns or the Celtics winning it all?
I'll take the Suns.
I'm excited. We need to watch all the finals games together.
Yeah, that should be during the summer.
We'll all be in. Yeah, it will. We'll all be in Edmond together.
I talk about it all the time. We'll have something set up in the summer. It'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Once the summer rolls around, we're all in different cities right now, but Edmond's our hometown. We'll all be in Edmond, and we'll be recording the podcast in person. So that'll be so much fun. I'm so excited for us to get started to do that. But speaking of getting together and recording the podcast, this upcoming Thursday, which this video will either be posted tonight, or Sunday afternoon, whenever you're seeing this on YouTube or Spotify, we will be live streaming the NFL draft on Thursday. We can't show the actual draft because of copyright issues. We don't want to get it taken down immediately.
We're
too scared for that. But like, you're probably gonna like have it on your big TV, your big flat screen. But we will be live streaming our live reactions to the draft on Thursday on our YouTube at BAE Sports Podcast, and just uploading that video once the draft is over. So if you want, come chill with the three of us. We'll all be watching the draft. If my Traylon Burks take to the Cowboys works, you're gonna see a very hyper me, very ecstatic me. Maybe we'll do some fun, I don't know, challenges. We'll make it interesting. It's not just going to be like what Aaron's doing right now, looking like he wants to die. But we'll do some fun stuff.
Murray.
What? Oh, you're Kyler Murray.
Everyone's talking all this crap on Kyler Murray. He's going to be back, and he's going to be great.
We'll do something fun with it. We'll have a fun time. So look forward to that. We'll post updates on our Twitter, as well as I guess other places. But I think that's all we have for the NBA. For the NFL, there wasn't the Deebo Samuel was the biggest thing, and we could see that go somewhere in the upcoming week. Hopefully by draft night, because that would be really fun to see a trade involved with Debo over draft night and see our live reactions to it. So as always, follow us on Spotify and YouTube at BAE Sports Pod. At our TikTok at bay.sports and on our Twitter at BAE Sports Pod. Aaron, Ethan, do y'all have anything else to say?
Have a good night, everybody.
Peace out, everybody.
See y'all later.